This month, we have a bunch of major titles and day one releases to tell you about, so wasting no time, let's get into it. On October 15th, a trio of Game Pass games will be made available to premium members. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black will give players the perfect place to hone the ninja skills that are sure to come in extremely handy a week later. Eternal Strands is a third-person adventure that lets you wield elemental powers in all sorts of cool ways. One of the few situations where you actually should play with fire. And PC gamers can get grips with the roguelike auto-battler He Is Coming, where they're tasked with taking down the Demon King himself. And you know what they say, come for the Demon King, best not Demon Miss. Now let's move on to the new games joining the Game Pass library in the next week or two. Being a shopkeeper isn't easy, just ask Apuna Hasapima Pedalon. But Game Pass members can now try their hand at it thanks to Supermarket Simulator. Available now on Game Pass Ultimate, Premium, and PC, the first-person sim lets you get hands-on with every single aspect of your store. Find good suppliers and keep your shelves stocked. Tinker with the layout to make things as efficient as possible and do whatever it takes to keep your customers happy, even if that means personally delivering items to their home. Of course, you'll also have to deal with shoplifters by relying on sophisticated anti-theft techniques, like chasing them down the street with a baseball bat and bonking them on the head. From October 9th, PC players can hop down into the dungeons of Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Editions. These isometric RPGs are pure old-school gaming goodness. Create your own character and set off on a quest through a fantastical world where you will encounter heroes, villains, and some folk who are just plain weird. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Jan Jansen. Enhanced Editions take these classics and spruce them up in every conceivable way, then chuck in a bunch of extra content just for the fun of it, like a battle arena called the Black Pits. Bringing together the masters of interactive horror and lore of Dead by Daylight, the casting of Frank Stone is like the Freddy vs. Jason of horror gaming. Only, you know, it's better. The creators of the Dark Pictures anthology and The Quarry have whipped up another tale of chills, thrills, and fresh-faced characters just waiting to get got. This time around, you'll be controlling the crew of filmmakers who wander into the middle of a real-life horror film. How many of them get to wander back out again will depend on the choices you make along the way. It's a brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base-building survival roguelike game. That's right, a brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base-building survival roguelike game. In fact, Ball X Pit might be the only game in that incredibly specific subgenre, which has you conjuring powerful balls and then pinging them at your foes before snapping up all the resources they drop to invest in your base. It's an ingenious blend of styles we never would have thought about putting together, and it's coming day one to Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass on October 15th. If you're all like, get this Halloween nonsense out of my way, it's Christmas time, baby, then you'll be delighted to learn that The Grinch Stole Christmas Adventures is coming to Game Pass Premium, PC, and Ultimate on October 15th, which is a bit ironic because he hated Christmas. That was like his whole thing. Regardless, Christmas Adventures is a festive platformer where you get to sneak around Whoville, stealing presents and pelting people with snowballs. You can even tag in a second player to play as the Grinch's faithful dog Max, making this the ideal pick for some slightly early festive family fun. While we're on the subject, what's your favorite game to play together over the holidays? Hit the comments to let us know. On October 16th, PC players can start finding their place within the vast fantasy world of PAX Day. This massively multiplayer social sandbox features a rich fantasy world where everything is harvested, crafted, cooked, and built by the players themselves. That means there's always loads of work to be done and a nearly infinite variety of ways that you can play your part. Adventure out in search of valuables, do some farming, sell your wares at the market, pool resources to form new villages, or ask for a little godly help by earning grace and trading it in for mystical boons. PAX Day is ultimately a game about cooperation, community, and the beauty of working together. But it does also feature PvP if you meet someone who's in need of a good macing. When you're ready to get weird, you turn to Double Fine, and their new game definitely looks like it'll live up to that billing. Definitely. Arriving day one on October 17th, Keeper is a truly puzzling puzzle adventure where you play as a sentient lighthouse who embarks on a great adventure along with their good friend, who is a bird. And honestly, the whole thing only gets stranger from there. From what we've seen so far, it's pretty clear that the Psychonauts team have conjured another beautifully bizarre world for us to explore, and we can't wait to shed some more light on it when Keeper arrives. In Evil West, you'll journey to a version of the American frontier that contains bloodthirsty monsters of every description, as well as hardened gunslingers like the guy you'll be playing as. And, well, this town ain't big enough for the both of them. Coming to Game Pass Ultimate, Premium, and PC on October 21st, Evil West is an extremely stylish, gleefully over-the-top actioner where you get to wield classic cowboy weapons like six-shooters, along with slightly less traditional ones like a lightning-powered gauntlet. There's loads of different monsters to fight, a whole weird Western world to learn about, and the option to do it all in 2-player online co-op. Last up, Ryu Hayabusa is back, and he brought a buddy. Ninja Gaiden 4 promises another formidable action experience as players get to grips with a blood-bending new hero called Yakumo and take on a whole army of deadly new enemies. The Ninja Gaiden games have always been renowned for their difficulty, and the 4th one is guaranteed to live up to that reputation. Trust me, I've seen what this thing is like in Master Ninja mode from the Xbox Tokyo Game Show broadcast. But it also features some more accessible levels, as well as an all-new training mode that you can hop into at any time to perfect those combos before you jump back into the fray. It's a Ninja Gaiden game for the experts and the every ninjas, and it's coming day 1 to Game Pass Ultimate on October 21st. Of course, you never know what other tricks and treats Game Pass might have for us in October and beyond, but if you subscribe to Xbox On, you'll be the first to hear all about them. Bye for now.